Hey everybody, Belinda Sandor here with Lynnae. Lynnae is one of my students in VA school. And one of the things I love to do is hear about their stories and what's going on for them. And so I asked Lynnae to join me today because I wanted you to hear from someone who is in VA school right now, what it's like and what her experience has been. So welcome, Lynnae. Thank you for doing this.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me a little bit about, I remember we talked before you signed up for VA school because you had some questions, which is great. So tell me, where were you then and what's different now? Like how do you feel, what's shifted for you?
Well, before I started VA school, I was kind of in between clients, and I have some VA background because I worked for somebody for about 3 years, kind of as a staff member more than anything, but I was in charge of a lot of the virtual kind of stuff, customer service, helping with websites, that kind of thing, helping her grow her business. And so after our kind of story went separate, or she went her way and I went my way, then I decided that I really wanted to take the skills that I'd learned from working with her plus previous administrative jobs and go to work for myself
Mhm.
as a VA. I thought, why not? And I was kind of already inside the VA connection and had learned a little bit about you. And I went through this Kickstart challenge and learned a little bit more. And then I thought, oh, I really need to go to school. So that's why I joined the VA school. And I've loved it. I love the community, everything about it. I've learned a lot.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So tell everybody a little bit about the support. How supported do you feel? How does the support come to you? How do you get your questions answered?
Well, we have the study halls 2 times a week. And in there, I think we have the question answer time with you. And then you also share a training session of, it could be, how do you do pricing? That's the big scary thing for most VAs is like, how do I tell somebody how much I'm going to charge them? And we've all learned stop talking.
That's
And
right.
it works.
Right here. I don't go
So,
anywhere without this.
yeah. So, and then I think the other thing is just the fact that you yourself have been there, done that. You've struggled with things that we're all questioning right now. You've grown, you've stretched, you've added skills, and everybody starts at a different place. And I think that's what makes it fun and unique is that each person is coming into the school from a different place and they bring in different skill sets, but yet there's the kind of the fun of sharing those skill sets and encouraging and being a cheerleader for some that are kind of maybe struggling more than others
Mhm.
getting started, um, or being able to bring, like, for example, I have the new client that I have that you know about, just being able to share with her something about jot notes that we talked about and being able to apply that to her website. And that's a new skill for me, but I was immediately able to pick it up and then use it for a client. So that's valuable to me too, because that moves us forward and gets her closer to her goals.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I like that part too, because one of the things that VAs do a lot of is what I think of as in the moment problem solving. It's like, what do I do now? And so for us to have the benefit of all of that together, I love that. I love that because there's just not that many people in my life that have a VA brain. And so to have, a bunch of us together, for me, it makes it more fun. It's like my people, I'm with my people. So something I talk a lot about in the Kickstart Challenge is something call the VA lifestyle. Being able to work when you want to work, with who with I think it's with whom you want to work, charging the amount that you want, and really the location. A lot of the people who are in the Kickstart Challenge this time they're thinking about traveling and can that happen. So tell me a little bit about the VA lifestyle that you've built, and how does that work with your family? How does that work?
Well, for me, I kind of work it in the nooks and crannies of the other things I have going on. I do work still part-time outside of the home, but that's my own choice. I just want to be around people. I'm kind of a people person. So I like getting out of my house. But I only do that like 12 to 14 hours a week. So I have other time that I can devote to building my VA business. I like it because I know if I take my laptop with me, I pretty much can work from anywhere. I could fly out and see my dad or go away for the weekend. And if I have a project I need to work on, I just take my stuff with me. Um, I also use platforms like Slack and Trello where I can check on things. And of course, good old fashioned email. And I mean, it's just really easy to jump in there. And if it's a 5-minute thing, you go and fix it for somebody, or if it's an hour project, I mean, it's kind of nice to know you got an income stream coming in and maybe you only have to devote an hour or two a day, a week,
Mm-hmm.
and you're making money.
Right.
And that money starts to accumulate as your skills grow. That's the other thing. I feel like I'm starting at a decent hourly rate. It's double what I was doing for the other person that I worked for. And I'm just going to grow from there. I want to learn more and then raise my prices as I learn more.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And that's a really good segue into what I was thinking about next is, a lot of people, they don't feel ready and they're worried about having a lack of confidence. And so how would you say that VA school fits into that? Has it helped with your confidence? And if it has, in what ways?
I think I've gotten better at asking questions of the other person, trying to really listen more than I talk, so that if they're presenting a problem, while they're talking, I'm thinking about, okay, what have I done in the past that makes a good solution or could be a potential solution to what they're looking for. And I think when you're talking to potential new clients, that's really important, that they can see that you are listening, that you can bring a solution to their problem almost immediately in a discovery call without even really trying to get yourself hired.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it puts them at ease because they're looking for somebody who can solve a problem. And if you can bring that solution, and that's a confidence builder for me. Every time I do that with somebody, I learn the next time, okay, say this, don't say that, and that kind of thing. And then people feel really comfortable. They know the kind of person I am. I let a little bit of my personality out. I share a little bit about me personally too. And before VA school, I might not have done that as well, but I've gotten better at doing it.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, because I agree. I think getting comfortable and knowing some answers is what builds our confidence, right? It's doing it over and over. So when you signed up for VA school, you knew you were going to get 70 videos and you're going to get study hall and you're going to get this and you're going to get that. And it's all on the page, right? I think it's all there. Was there anything that was sort of an aha for you? Like, oh, that's sort of extra. That you didn't think that you didn't think about when you were signing up?
I think the one thing that I really love is that you provide really good templates. Like, you make it pretty easy to use your system. It's easy to go through the videos. I love the fact that we can go back and rewatch them if we forget things. And if other people are like me, I tend to watch a lot and then go back and watch it again to take notes and then start trying to implement. So it's easy to implement. It's easy to use. But I really, like the welcome template, you had it all written out and all I had to do was basically like copy paste it onto a Word doc and then go in and edit it and make it work for me. But the initial skeleton was there. I just kind of had to put skin on it for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that because it just simplifies the use of things and makes it quicker. I like the way that you walk through. It's like step by step by step, kind of do this, don't do this, say this, don't say that. Everything from having a professional headshot to having a good website, And then I really enjoy the chicken chatter one because I think especially as women, we all have a lot of chicken chatter in our head that's telling us, um, oh, you can't do this. You just think you're, whatever. We just go
Mhm.
through all that stuff, and it just kind of helps it clear it out and be like, nope, I can do this. I'm able to do this. I'm just going to take it a little bit at a time. It's not a 100-yard dash. It's a marathon, and you're
Mhm.
learning
Mhm.
and growing. And that's what I like, and building one another up and giving ideas to one another, especially like inside the Facebook page and that kind of thing. So,
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I remember there was a woman that I took a course from, and the reason I took a course from her, this just popped into my head. She knew about my chicken chatter. And I honestly was walking around for about 40 something years thinking I was the only one that had that because I would never tell anyone because I was so embarrassed by it that I just carried it around. And she explained it, and I followed her around for years, this woman. And so that's the big takeaway for me that I want everyone to know is that when Annabelle talks, Annabelle's one of my chickens. She goes like that's it must be my name because that's what she says over and over. Every time she sees me, and when we have that cycle and we think we're the only one, it's really hard. And so when you can say those things out loud in a safe place, the chicken chatter is not going to go away, but you can learn to talk back to it and say, "Oh yeah,
mhm,
no, we're not doing that,"
yeah.
And yeah, so that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I love that too. So, um, if someone's on the fence because this is a big decision, and I've done another course, or this has happened, or that's happened, am I going to have the time? If someone's on the fence, what would you say to them? And did you have? Well, you must have had a little hesitation because you wanted to talk with me, right? You weren't just like, I'm not just signing up for this. I want to talk to you, and I've offered that to everybody. So, um, you know what was the thing that you would say to them, for so they can make any decision, yes or no? What would you say to them?
I would weigh the pros and cons to make sure that it's a good fit for the next step in what they're going to do. The thing that probably was holding me back was the cost. But after I talked to you and thought about it and went with the payment plan, everything I've learned and been able to implement, I'm starting to earn back what I've invested into it, and that's just with one client here recently. I'm starting to get back what I've invested, and so I would not let money hold you back. If you can find a way to get the money together or to do the payment plan, I would push forward and do it because I think the future is going to be more virtual and less brick and mortar. And I think it's wise to have maybe a side gig for a while where you're still working a full-time job. And I know some of the VAs that I don't know if they're in our group, but like in the VA connection, they're working full time, but they're also building their own business on the side. And it's very doable. Um, you could do it on the weekends and make an extra, I don't know, two, three, $400, depending on what you charge
Hmm.
on the weekend, and have that money to pay down debt, to save, to do, to invest in something else that you want to do, put it away for vacation or Christmas or whatever. But it's just not that hard to earn money because the skills that we have as a VA, whether it's, working an Excel spreadsheet or building a website or setting up social media, there are so many business owners out there that don't have the time to do that stuff or don't want to do it. And they know they need to do it, but it's just a lot to juggle on one plate. So if they can hand it off and know somebody's going to take care of it well for them, it's kind of like a no brainer. And eventually your investment's going to be right back in your pocket.
Yep. Yep. I agree. That's the thing. So many people, there's no shortage of clients, no shortage of all and at all. And what I love is that, the whole world, I don't love that the whole world had to work from home. I don't love that at all. But what I do love is that it's proven now. People can do it. Corporations do not crumble because people are working from home, and so a lot of that doubt that people had, I think, is gone. It's been proven wrong. So, well, thank you so much. This was really valuable. I love to hear your thoughts about it, and thank you for sharing them with all the people that are out there thinking about whether this is for them, and is this the right next step. So thank you very much, Lynnae, and I'll see you in the next study hall.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.